Hello, Craig.
Yeah.
Neil Waters.
How you going, man?
Very good. How are you?
Good, mate. Yeah, good.
Excellent.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I worked today up in the fire tower on Mount Horror and did me bit.
So where are you in Tassie, are you? You live in Tassie?
Yeah, I'm in northeast Tasmania. Yeah.
Oh, okay, northeast. So whereabouts in Tassie are you?
About 2 hours northeast of Launceston. I'm in a place called South Mount Cameron.
You don't know it. I know Launceston. My family's in Tassie.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother lives down there. My mum lives down there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're in New South Wales, aren't you?
I'm in New South Wales. Yeah, I live at a place called Lemon Tree Passage.
Okay.
Nelson Bay area, just north of Newcastle.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely part of the world. I've been up through there a couple of times, actually. Not actually.
It is a nice part of. It is a lovely part of the world.
Yeah, that coastal drive from Sydney up to Brisbane, stunning.
Yeah, it is good, hey?
Yeah, it's beautiful. So, how long ago did you have your Thylacine sighting, mate?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, only 2 weeks ago, right, okay. Excellent. Well, you're the first one for this year.
It was a Thylacine. I'm 100% convinced.
Okay.
And so, do you want me to tell you the story?
Yeah, tell me the whole story, mate. Go for it.
So my wife's moved up to an area. I don't want to say the exact area, but so I'm going to be a little bit vague on the area.
Yeah, no worries, mate. That's fine.
Because the private property, and I don't know if they want me to let it out.
Sure.
But that's fine. So I'll protect the innocent. Anyway, she's moved up to a property and she's working there. Okay.
Right.
I'm a fisherman. I've been fishing all my life. There's a stream that runs through the property that is full of what are they, bass and all that. And I've got a suspicion there's trout there. I'm pretty sure I saw a trout there. So it's a fairly remote property. It's probably, it's in the Hinterland on the coast off Coffs Harbour.
Okay.
That sort of area.
Yeah, no worries.
So,
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm sure you know fly fishing. So I was fly fishing the stream probably about 3 weeks ago. And I'm sure, as you know, with fly fishing and in the stream, you're fairly well camouflaged and you're stalking. It's like hunting, but you're in a river.
Yeah, sure. I've done it.
You're moving. Sorry?
I've done it before when I was a younger lad.
Okay, yeah. So you're moving through the stream nice and slowly, and you're not making any adverse noise. You're not waving. You don't want to scare fish, so you slow, steady sort of movements, and you blend in when you can. And 3 weeks ago, I heard something rustling in the bush. And okay, so just to give you a bit more of a feel, where on one side of this creek you've got grassland, and the grassland's got houses on it, and there's heaps of wallabies and that sort of thing. Then you've got the creek. Then on the other side of the creek, you've just got native bushland. Quite steep, just going up to them because it's a mountainous area, so it's the start of the mountains, so to speak.
Yep.
Okay. So I was walking through the creek and I heard a bit of a rustling, and I looked up and I just saw, I didn't see an animal, but I saw bushes being moved out of the way, pushed out of the way, and I thought, that's odd. Didn't think anything more of it, and I was talking to my wife about it, and she was saying, could have been a goanna, there's heaps of goannas. No, it wasn't a goanna. I used to hunt years ago, so I know the bush, and I used to hunt, so I know the bush. Wasn't a goanna, wasn't an emu. And then my wife said to me she saw a deer up there. And I said, it's probably a deer. And that was the end of the conversation. Anyway, about a week and a half, was it a week? It must have been, it was only a week and a half ago, eh? It was Monday. It was Sunday, and it wasn't last Sunday.
So it was Sunday week ago.
You would have been travelling, so it wasn't last Sunday, it was the Sunday before. Yeah, it wasn't last Sunday.
The Sunday before.
Yeah.
So the first Sunday in February.
We'll look that up for you.
Sure, no worries.
Because I went up to visit. Anyway, so I'm fishing away. It was the 5th.
Okay, so the 5th of February.
Yeah. So I'm fishing away doing the stalking thing, and I heard a sound of a stick breaking on the other side, and I looked up, and there was a thylacine staring at me, and I was staring back at him. And I know the bush, and I know what a dingo looks like, I know what a fox looks like, I know what dogs look like, I know what feral cats look like. This was a thylacine.
Yep.
It was looking straight at me. I had a clear vision of sight. It was on the other side of the bush, going up. Clear vision. It was. I saw it. It was looking straight at me, and I was looking at it for about 2 or 3 seconds. And round ears, extremely long snout, really slanty eyes, black around the eyes. Kind of looked evil around the eyes, looking at me. It froze, but then it turned sideways, so I saw the whole length of it, and it walked behind a tree to hide, but it was only a third of it. A third of it was behind the tree, so it stood sideways. So I saw the back section of this animal sticking out from the tree, and for a good clear 8 seconds. And remember, it's only, I don't know, 10 or 12 metres away.
Yep.
It was taller than a dingo. It was fairly, really thinly built.
Yep.
It had a long tail like a kangaroo, no fur on it. Where the tail met the body, it was like a lump, like a lump area. And then it had legs. The legs weren't a dingo; they were just like a thylacine. They got the funny legs at the back. They don't look like a dog's legs. They just look
like a kangaroo.
Yeah, like a kangaroo.
Yeah.
And when it moved behind the tree, it skipped. It didn't walk or run. It just turned and skip in there.
Like a hop.
I was looking at that for about 8 seconds at least, and I was going, fucking hell, look at you.
Yep.
Yep. And then it just turned and disappeared into the bush. But I looked at it clearly, easily 10 seconds, and
What colour?
It was orange. I didn't see stripes. It was orange.
Yep.
I didn't really notice stripes. Well, I had a good view sideways. Could have had stripes, but there was shade and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So could have had stripes. Yeah, that's it. That's it basically.
And so, did it make any noise at all, or just the noise of breaking branches?
Yeah, that was it. It stepped on a branch and broke it, and that's when I looked up and I went, what the fuck? Look at you. Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I just looked at it. Then it turned side. This is how it was. Look at you. So I'm looking at it, turn sideways, skip behind a tree. There it is, looking at you still, looking at you. Wow. And then it turned and away it went. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Did you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Have you heard of any other sightings near there at all?
Mate, I've only told a couple of people.
Yeah, I told someone today. I forget the name, some small town near Armadale, and it was and they called it the something tiger. I forget the name of the small town. Hold on, I'll message her.
Okay. I've got a mate down the road, and I've told him, because he's a bushy, and he went, he said he's not seen one, but he's heard that they're around.
Yep.
And he said he did some research, and he said to me, Mawulumbar and Byron Bay hinterland is actually a hotspot for them. He said there's hundreds of sightings up there.
Yeah, there is. There's quite a few.
I don't doubt it. And, being the sort of person I am, I actually got on Google Maps and I Google mapped the area. hundreds, if not thousands, of square kilometres of bush right where I saw him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
So
going
the
back for
bush
miles.
that goes. So yeah. And I was actually talking. My boss, the owner of I work in a hardware store, so the owner of the business, he trains attack dogs, for the army and police. Not attack dogs, I don't know what you call them, but guard dogs.
Yep.
For the police and the army and stuff. So he's got a real dog background, and he also hunts. He goes out shooting. He has all his got his licenses. I told him the following Tuesday when I went back to work, and by the phone, and he said, "Oh no, look, they're extinct." He said, "There's no way it would have been one." I said, "You probably just saw a dingo that had mange." And I said to him, "I know what a dingo looks like, even a mangy one. It wasn't a dingo. It didn't look like a dingo. It wasn't a dingo. Dingoes, the snout on this thing's long, and jewelry and round ear. It wasn't a dingo. Dingoes don't hop. Oh, well, it could have had something wrong with its foot. That's why its legs were deformed." I said, "Well, really?"
But just hopping on its rear feet, though, was it?
No, it wasn't hopping on its rear feet, but it's kind of skipped along.
Yeah, they've got a peculiar gait at the best of times.
Yeah. And he said, "Look, just look up mangy Australian wild dogs on Google, but you'll see it." Mate, I did it for half an hour at work. There was nothing came up, anything like. They look like mangy dogs.
Yeah.
It wasn't a mangy dog. It was a bloody tiger, Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, no, that's it, mate. It's a Australian marsupial wolf.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It ain't no Tasmanian tiger because you ain't geographically challenged. You know where Tasmania is.
Okay, so what do you call it?
It's an Australian marsupial wolf. That's what it is. That's what it used to be called. And then after that one died in Hobart Zoo, suddenly it was called the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've done a bit of research since then, so I've learned a lot more about them. But my thing with them is, I'm sure they're around. I've seen one, so I've got no doubt now.
Yeah.
I didn't have any doubt before, anyway. But obviously, they've got a really keen sense of smell, and they've learnt to stay away from humans. I don't think it's rocket science.
No, it's not. They've got a very the nerve endings in their nose is way more than a dog's, so they've got even better sense of smell than dogs, way better.
So they know that we're there, and if we're in their area, they just move on.
Yeah.
I don't see what all the fuss is about, But as I said, because I was fishing, I was really stealthy, moving along very slowly and camouflaged and stuff.
And it stumbled upon you.
He stumbled upon me, and if I didn't go, "What the fuck? Look at you!" I don't even know if he would have seen me,
Yeah.
He did, and that's him. And he froze. He just stared at me, and he froze, and he didn't know what to do. So he tried to hide behind a tree. The tree was too small, and there was at least a third of him, I'd say, was behind the tree. So 2/3 of him. Yeah, definitely.
So he was a good size?
It was a good size.
Yep.
Wasn't small.
Yep. It sounds like a female if it had a long, pointy face.
Yeah.
Usually the males are described as having a buffier head.
Yeah.
So probably a female. Not to say it is either or either. You're the one that saw it, but...
Yeah, it was distinctively long compared to a dingo.
Yeah.
Distinctively longer.
Yeah, and they're a funny build as well. The whole structure of them is a peculiar looking thing.
Yeah, and just as soon as I saw it, I knew what it was, because I had been to Tassie. I know what they look like.
Yeah.
And as I said, looking directly at me wasn't a dingo. It had the black around the eyes. It had smaller eyes. It had rounder ears. It just had a really long gait from its forehead to its nose. At the front was really long. Turned sideways, and I went, "Oh God, look at you, Jesus!" So now when I go up there fishing, I'm gonna wear a GoPro on my head.
Now that's an idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go looking. I'm just gonna go fishing.
Sure. A lot of people wear those body cams now. You can buy them quite cheap too.
Yeah.
About $90 online.
Yeah.
And you can even get thermal ones.
There you go.
Sorry, mate. I think I hung up on you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can even get thermal body cams now, and they're only about $100.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get some pretty cool gear if you know where to look online.
I'll probably just get a GoPro-ish type thing for my head.
Yeah. Then your hands are free to fly fish.
I'd better get a quality one because you want one that's clear.
Yep. What sort of music do you do in your band?
Rock band. We're a rock party band.
So you're doing originals or covers?
No, covers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to sing in bands years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I sung in a Led Zeppelin band for about 16 years.
Oh, geez, you must have a high voice.
Yeah, still got it.
Be able to belt it out.
Yeah, I can belt it out still. Not for as long as I used to, but yeah, I've still got the range. It's probably needs a bit of work, I think.
We get a lot of work. We're agency backed,
and cool.
We book ourselves. We two last weekend. We got two this weekend. So yeah, we get a lot of work. It's good.
Oh, that's good, mate. Excellent. Make a bit of
it is.
Bit of coin and have a bit of fun.
Oh, it's good. It's good for pocket money. I mean, you make a bit of money out of it, and you have a good time, and
yep.
I love it. I'll do it. I'll play. I love playing on stage, and I'll be on stage for as long as I can.
Yep. Yeah, I don't play an instrument. I just sung, but yeah, we used to have a bit of a laugh. It was good fun.
Yeah.
Did a few other cover bands.
Much work in whereabouts in Tassie?
Oh no, that was in Adelaide. I'm from Adelaide originally. That was from about 1992 till about 2016. I sung in bands about 24 years.
Okay, recent.
Yeah, and then in Tassie, it's mainly all country music down here. I mean, there's a music scene in Hobart and Lonnie to a degree, but everyone listens to country music down here.
Yeah.
It's still very rural.
Folks and my brother want me to move down there, but I couldn't. I love the lifestyle, but I need my music, and I know I wouldn't get it down there.
Yeah, you'd be struggling.
Yeah.
Hobart, you might do okay, but then you're still going to be limited to maybe a dozen venues at the most,
Yeah, and up here, as I said, like within a 2-hour radius we play from.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and we get 1 or 2 a weekend, and that's it. We have our weekends off when we want.
Yep.
So.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I love it. She got a shit hot drummer.
Oh, that's good. That you need that. If you haven't got that, you got nothing.
He's a bloody. He's a freak. He's got he doesn't have an ego. He just loves playing.
Oh, that's good. Makes it more fun.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, look, good chatting to you. Thank you very much for your coming forward and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I thought I should tell someone. I got onto the Yowie people. I said, I'm trying to find. I didn't see a Yowie, but I saw a Thylacine. Who can I contact? And they gave me the Facebook of some mob from Tasmania, and on their front page it says, "We don't want to hear any shit stories from mainlanders who have seen foxes."
Oh, yeah.
The fucking dickhead. So I didn't
That's old mate Mike Williams. He lives up at Katoomba Way, up there.
Oh, does he? Where in Blue Mountains?
Yeah, he's up there. Him and his wife are authors, and he don't like me because I look for mainland thylacines.
Oh,
yeah. It's all politics, but yeah, he's not very welcoming of any mainland information on that page, I do believe.
He is?
He's not. No, he's not interested in any mainland stuff at all.
That's why I look at him.
It's his trigger.
I mean, I'm 60. I know a dickhead when I see one now.
Yeah. He trolls me big time.
Does he?
Yeah, he does, but that's okay. He can troll away. Yeah, it's all good.
I had another question for you, if you've got 5 minutes.
What's that, mate?
Drop bears, those cats.
Thylacaleos.
listen to this. Just tell me about those.
So, in the 1800s, when colonists first started getting further and further into the bush and exploring more, animals that were described as like a cat but like a bear, with big teeth and big claws, were sometimes encountered out in the bush, and they would literally jump out of the tree and scare the crap out of everyone, show them all their fangs and run off.
Okay, so they live in trees?
Well, they are semi-arboreal. They don't necessarily live in trees, but they will habitat them.
Yeah, okay.
They're also known to have lairs underground as well. So,
okay.
Anyway,
they marsupial?
They are marsupial. They're quite ferocious from all accounts. There's more than one species, I would think.
They're ferocious if you corner them.
Even if you...
Just in general.
I don't think you have to corner them. I think you just have to have something they want. And get in their way maybe when they're trying to get it, but yeah, there's a story of one in South Australia lunging at a horse in the 1970s, and the guy on the horse was going flat out trying to get away from it.
Wow.
And it
How
clawed
big are they?
I think they could probably be up to about 70-80 kilos if you had a real big male.
Jesus Christ, really?
Oh, they'd eat you. They'd eat you, but don't think that they're all going to be that big. There's going to be ones that are a lot smaller than that, and there is, from sightings accounts. But a zoologist called Burrell and another one called Lassouf looked into it in the 1920s. They had expeditions up into Queensland, and they saw them, they found their footprints, and they saw a pelt that someone had shot, but they never managed to catch one themselves. But the very first book, which I've got, that was ever a collation of Australian native animals, mentions them in there. There's about 3 or 4 pages dedicated to them, talking about them.
Wow.
So they do exist. But if you ask a paleontologist, they'll say they don't exist, because they look underground, yeah? They don't look at what's above ground.
My wife has a lot to do with Aboriginal circles.
Oh, okay, so they'd know about them, for sure.
Yeah, so I'll get her to ask the question.
Yeah, there's plenty of sightings of them in New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, WA.
Yeah, so...
And Kakadu as well in Northern Territory.
And then I might not secure.
Have you seen one?
No, I just discovered them while I was...
looking for other stuff. Yeah,
looking for other stuff.
Yeah, no, they're definitely a real thing. It's like yowies. Like, too many people encounter them things for them all to be made up stories.
Yeah, again, I think it just comes down to a heightened sense of smell. They don't want anything to do with us.
That's it.
So they see us 10 kilometres before we even get a chance.
Yowies will interact with you, though. You can get them to interact with you.
Can you?
Yeah, they'll throw rocks. I experienced it firsthand myself about 5 days ago in Brisbane.
Wow.
True story.
Tell me.
We were out looking for thylacine prints at this spot where the fella has found... I mean, there's a video of it on our YouTube. I put it up the other day.
Okay.
When I interviewed the guy, yeah. But yeah, we found some interesting prints there of what I think might be some sort of marsupial. But then we also found a few human ones that were interesting, reasonably big. He found other yowie prints there. But he was calling out to them, and they were throwing stones at us. Like, the grass where we were was like 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. There was no one there. But stones were coming out of the bush kind of thing and landing near us.
Wow.
I'll kid you not.
I'm on YouTube now looking at it, so how do I find it?
So go to Thylacine Awareness Group of Australia. I've got about 50 mosquitoes in the car with me here at the moment. I'm sitting here constantly waving, trying not to get eaten alive. It's like an army of them flying around my head.
In Tassie?
Yeah, there's plenty of mozzies down here, don't worry.
Is there?
I left the window open for the dog because it's getting dark. She likes to sit there and stare at all the paddy melons and possums running around. But yeah, at great peril with these bloody mozzies. God, there's hundreds of them in here. So Thylacine Awareness Group of Australia is the name of our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you hit subscribe.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the subtitle bit that's called videos, click on that.
Yeah.
And that'll always be in order of the most latest videos to the least recent.
I'll do that. I don't know if I've subscribed.
I loaded it up 2 or 3 days ago. It was when I loaded it up, so it's fresh. But it's interesting.
Yeah, I joined your Facebook page just to have a read of some of it, but I actually didn't want to get too involved in other people's sightings because I didn't want it to cloud what I saw and then.
Yeah, that makes sense, mate. That's perfectly logical thing.
But I know what I saw, mate. If you rang me in 5 years' time and asked me what I saw, I'll tell you
exactly the same thing. Yeah, I get it.
No hesitation. Hang on, I'm just gonna subscribe channel. There you are. Look at you go, eh? Your glasses and your long hair.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere.
And you got some bloke with you. Look at him.
Yeah, that's Glenn.
Glenn, is it?
Yeah.
All right, I subscribed. Yeah, I'll go in and find that. That's your latest one, is it?
Yeah, that's the latest one. So have a look at that. And that goes into a little bit of the yowie stuff, but I'd try not to go down too many rabbit holes. I've got enough on my plate, yeah?
Yeah. Look at the thylacine right now, as in on the video, and that's the head, mate, and that's the legs, and there's the tail.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it, round ears.
Yep.
I ain't no dingo.
No, you know what you saw, and that's what everybody says pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
Some people aren't 100% on what they've seen, but
look evil when they're looking at you.
Most people, yeah, that's interesting because not many people say that it looked evil. One lady said that it was the ugliest thing she ever saw, its head. She reckoned its head looked really ugly, which I found peculiar, but that's what she described it as, so.
Yeah.
Prehistoric looking head, she said.
Yeah. Big jaws on them, eh? Have they got a big crushing ability? Do you know?
Well, if you speak to a scientist, no, but we find a lot of adult male kangaroos around Australia with their heads missing, so you tell me. And their lungs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And they're known to be a blood feeder, and they're known to remove heads historically. So I think there's a lot of mythology being created by scientists about thylacines, way more than any bushies ever did. I think the bushies know the truth, and the scientists are the ones creating the myths, yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty much. They come up with an agenda, and then they make a paper designed around their agenda.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that's how they roll, yeah?
Yeah, on many different subjects.
On lots of subjects, not just thylacines, but yeah, that's another rabbit hole.
Just hang on a sec. There was a lady, what's the name of the town?
Emmaville tiger.
Emmaville.
Yes, I've heard of that one before. Yep. Yeah, I spoke to a fella who's a truck driver in Tassie who was from up that way, and he had a sighting of 2 walking in a paddock when he was doing a U-turn with his truck outside of some town, and I don't think it was Emmaville, but there was another little area up there where there was another colloquial one that had been seen around the town quite a few times. So they're up right through the Great Divide, you know, from top to bottom in the Great Dividing Range. You'll find thylacines pretty much.
Yeah, well, the mountain range that we're on is part of the Great Dividing Range. You know, I didn't realise it was so vast until I Googled Earth and I went, oh, yeah, look at you, look at that area you've got to hide in.
They got all the habitat in the world. We've had quite a few sightings from up around Bathurst recently too, and Orange up around that way. So New South Wales still has them.
Yeah.
I heard a rumour that one got ran over by a car in the 90s, a hire car, once, but it got all covered up by the government. But yeah, that was the first one to be found in New South Wales since the 1800s.
Why would you wouldn't say, why would they cover it up? Do you think they'd be going, oh, it's fantastic, they're still alive? Yeah, no, it's not the way it works, mate. It's all about who's paying the bills, yeah? Oh, of course.
Yeah, like this whole gene splicing, cloning bullshit thing.
Yeah.
Just absolute crap.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is how they roll.
Levels and on all different subjects.
Yeah, mate.
Again.
Anyway. All right, mate.
Good on you, man.
Thanks very much for your time. I'll put this out as an interview.
No dramas, man. I'm glad I told you.
Yeah, it's great. Excellent. If you hear or see anything else, by all means, get back in touch.
Mate, yeah, I am going to buy a GoPro and I'll get the head attachment. When I'm up there fishing, I'll just be wearing it and it'll be on.
Yep. Good work.
Good on you.
Good luck.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
All the best.
You'll be the second one to know. After my wife.
Fair call.
In fact, I'll save your number. I'll put your number in my phone.
Yeah, no worries. All the best, mate. Cheers for that.
Good on you, man. Bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye.